Tony Lane, John Foster, wvsportsnet.com, alongside with Logan head basketball coach Mark Hatcher. Welcome here behind the scenes, man. Thank you for having us.
Well, you're all welcome. You know, you're always welcome around here, and it's been a great thing that you all have done this year, and I think all the high school coaches and especially all of our opponents really love you all because we've got to see about half our games on without getting films on. I'm just joking. But it's been a great experience, and it's been a great thing for our kids, and it's so much easier just to call a college coach, or they call you and say, look, it's on YouTube, Logan versus Preston County or Logan versus William Park, and they go right there, call me back, or text me back, and tell me what they think. So it's been a great thing, and I think it's something I think you guys are going to get bigger and bigger and better as it goes.
Well, we appreciate that, Coach. But, you know, you guys, we're using down here, you know, want to say congratulations on making the state tournament. You know, you're defending AAA state champions. You know, you guys have had the target on your back all year. And I know that's had some ups and downs, that's for sure. You know, you had to overcome some injuries and stuff like that throughout the season. So what does it mean to get back to Charleston Civic Center?
Well, it means everything to our community because our community is sort of built around going to the state tournament. We've been there 31 times now. This will be the 31st time, And, you know, we've had a lot of success there. And basketball's been a major part of this community since the 20s and 30s. Really started in the 40s, though, and then Coach Akers, when he got here in the 60s, it just increased. And you know, he's the legend and did so many great things with it. So in our community, state tournament time is huge for our school to be a part of the state tournament. I mean, it's also big in my family. I mean, my dad being a coach, and we sort of use it as a family reunion. I mean, we have family from Morgantown, family from all over different parts of West Virginia, some in Kentucky, Virginia. Everybody, we always sort of meet and come together during state tournament time, whether we're in it or not, but it's a whole lot better when we're in it. So it's been a very big part of my life. I've been around it. I'm 40 years old, and I've been around it, you know, for 40 years, I mean, pretty much. So my uncle played on the 70. I was born in 70. He played on the 70 team that was runner-ups to Parkersburg. They were known as the Cinderella Cats. They really weren't supposed to make it out of sectional. So it's been, you know, again, it's been a big part of my life. So it's huge for Logan to be in the state tournament.
You know, you talk about life and family, and you said you got them scattered out all, you know, tri-state region and further. Is that where you get the mentality that, hey, let's take these cats on the road? Because hey, you didn't play a home game, Coach, until midway through January.
Well, I think I get a little bit of that from my dad. He rubs off on me a little bit as far as that goes. And I get a little bit from Coach Gertz and guys like that. You know, when you and Coach Akers the same way. Logan has always played a tough schedule. We've always played teams from different parts of the state. I mean, we're one of those people, our budget's good here. We have great crowds, so we're allowed to do a little bit more as far as traveling goes. And it's been one of those things that's always happened. We got in the conference there for probably about 10 years there in the Mountain State Athletic Conference, then going to AA in the Cardinal Conference. When we got back to AAA, we decided to get back and to stay independent, to travel, to go play the best teams in the state and the best teams out of state. And, you know, winning in 2005, and my assistants can verify this, we had a great schedule in 2006, but we had a big X on us then. You know, the target was there. We had a lot of guys returning. And we played a really good AA schedule, but I always thought we came one basket away from going back to the championship game that year. So I thought, you know, what can I do different this time around? We won it in 2010. What can I do different? What can I just thought we'd come out and push our kids to the max, play against, you know, Northland, Ohio, who is the number one team in Ohio. Irma, who won the South Carolina big class championship. Lots of these other schools, Chesapeake's right in the thing, plus your Wheelings and Beckleys and GWs and things like that. So we've really challenged our guys, and we're hoping I can say by next Saturday it'd be great to sit there and say, you know, one of the reasons we're back here and one of the reasons we've had success is because of that schedule.
Absolutely.
All righty, Coach. Well, like I said, it's been a season of ups and downs for you. So I hate to put you on the spot. What do you say thinks have been the highest high of this season, and what do you think's been the lowest low?
Well, I mean, I think probably the highest high. I think the William Park game was a huge game here. It's a great crowd, home opener. We'd waited so long to play. You guys were here that night. It was an electric night all the way through. Plus to make a 13-point comeback in the fourth quarter. Their foul shooting helped us a little bit there, but our kids didn't quit, and we found a way to win, and it ended in such a dramatic fashion that it was just one of those highlights. I think beating Chesapeake was huge, and then we had some great games. I mean, we were right in the game with Princeton Day for a while. I think you guys were here then, Northland, Ohio, right in the game. 4-point game with 2 minutes to go, and they go four corners on us. I mean,
yeah.
In one way, that was a little bit of a moral victory to make them go four corners with a couple minutes left in the game. But I think bringing those teams in and putting up good fights with those teams, definitely a low point would be the Big Atlantic Classic, getting down there and getting blown out by Woodrow, going to Wheeling and laying an egg. However, getting to Wheeling the night before was probably even lower than that, an 11-hour bus trip from Logan to Wheeling.
Oh, goodness.
We could have went to Orlando, Florida or something. But I think coming back and winning the Huntington game, then Paul gets hurt, so we ride up on a high, go back on a low for a couple games. But then we've sort of turned it around. We went to Parkersburg, and we've sort of been, gradually climbing that mountain again, gradually climbing that high. And, a big win on Wednesday would certainly make us feel a lot of part of that state tournament. You try to get to semifinal Friday, which is always, I think Friday is a great day to be at the state tournament, and so we got a great game ahead of us Wednesday, and hopefully, that's probably the highs and lows so far.
Okay.
Well, let's talk. I'm going to mention another situation that happened during the year, and it was a pretty high moment. It was when Paul Williamson broke. It was your uncle's record, right?
Right.
Now, can we kind of talk about, just in a general form, of what it's been like to coach Paul, through these past 4 years?
Well, it's been pretty special to coach him. We really didn't know what was going to happen when he was coming out of middle school. I'd had a relationship with Andy and some of his family members for a long time. Paul had kept telling us, man, I want to come to Logan. He had a really good relationship with Brantz, my brother, and Brett Sorrell and Jonathan Bevins, and a couple of those boys. So there was a connection there. We didn't know if he was going to go to Lincoln County, Chapmanville, or Logan. But when he decided to come to Logan, he went to team camps with us and stuff that summer, and, it's just been a great relationship ever since. He's a very intelligent kid. He's a very good kid. He doesn't cause much trouble. We've had our ups and downs. Not very many, though. Not very many downs in 4 years. We've had a couple of little arguments here and there over some stuff, but you're going to have that, especially the amount of time that we spend together. And you're talking about a kid in 4 years. He's probably with me 300 days a year for 4 years. That's 1,200 days there. He's been with me in the last 4 years. So that's a lot of days, and lots of hours and times and overnight trips and summer camps and getting him up and making him play hard at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then coming right back in that night and playing hard at 10:30 at night. In these camps, it's like that 6-7 games a day. And we've traveled some great places. He's just, I could go on and on talking about how good of a kid he is and how the relationship has been with him. I'm so proud of the way he played in the state tournament last year. I thought he really just turned it on and showed everybody how great of a player he was. Was really disappointed he wasn't first team All-State. And, this year the way he's came out and played and scored and just done the little things and really sort of put the team on his shoulders a lot. Here lately he's really done a great job of it. He's got a great attitude, and I think he really wants to go back over there and try to win this thing. So he's one of those 1 in a million kids you get to coach, guys. It's just not – I've had some great kids, but he's right up there with some of the best I've ever been around. If I had a son, I'd have no problem at being Paul Herbert Williamson, being just like Paul Herbert Williamson.
Yeah, every time we've got talked to him, he's all been real polite.
Very humble.
Yeah, you don't see that a lot anymore in young kids. But back here to the state tournament, you guys got the 7 seed, a little different than where you guys were last year going into it. Now you got number 2 Morgantown. What are you expecting out of that tough Morgantown team?
Well, Morgantown is an awfully good basketball team. I think there were probably 4 teams that were a little bit separated from everybody else as the season went on. GW, Wheeling Park, Morgantown, and Woodrow. South Charleston would be right there too. Hedgesville, of course, had that great record, but with the teams that they played, you really didn't know where they fit in there. So
right.
They may end up being the best. I don't know, but I think there's some other teams like us and Huntingtons and the Parkersburgs who aren't there, but there's a couple other teams that I felt like could go, or Preston, that could go win this thing. But Morgantown's a very great. They got great size, 6'8" on the wing, 6'5", 6'6", 240 down low. Their guards are all strong kids. They're all over 6 foot tall. I mean, when you look at them and you look at Paul Herbert, Paul would be about average size for them. They don't have too many guys smaller than Paul on their whole team. Well, Paul's one of our bigger guys. Other than Gary, he's probably one of the strongest guys that we have. So that's what we're going against physically. Of course, they got a school of 1,800. We got a school of 600. They got a lot of great athletes to choose from. Us being without Trevor definitely hurts our matchups a little bit. However, they've beat some great teams, and they've lost a couple games. We've beat some great teams. It's going to be a great matchup. Last year we had a good game with them. We were up on them most of the game, all the way to the end of the third quarter. And once they got the lead on us, they really dominated and controlled the game on us. We had a really hard time stopping them and their size last year, and that was with Noah and things like that. I think it's the same. It's going to be really about the same way. We really need to stay close or within striking distance, or if we can keep the lead on them and make them play more to our and try to match our size and our quickness, they may have to change their lineup a little bit around, then I think that benefits us. But if it's us trying to play catch up to them and having to deal with their half court off, if it's half court versus half court, it's going to be a tough game for us. We got to try to make it full court as much as possible. They are a very good seed, and for the first time that I've been coaching, we've been seeding the state tournament since 2005, I think. This is the first time we've been sort of the underdog, so it's sort of a neat little role.
Yeah. A different spot for you than normal. Yeah. You was talking about getting into your game. That's where the Wildcats run up and down the floor, and part of that's going to be Dustin Woody. Now let's talk about. He had that little bit of a layoff, and then he come back in and play. Let's talk about his last 5 or 6 games.
Well, Dustin, I think, has came in and gelled pretty well with our guys. I mean, he had a whole month there almost. It seemed like just, is he going to be eligible? Is he going to get to play and stuff like that? So he was around. He paid his dues. He was at practice every day to watch. He went to all the trips with us and everything like that. He tried to stay around and learn as much as he could. So when he did get to come in and start playing, he's really gelled well. I think he does a great job. We were averaging 12 assists a game until he got here. Now we're up to 22 assists a game. Now 22 assists a game. So that's been a great jump. Everybody else has kept theirs, and then he's added 8 or so a game. I think he gives you a little bit more on defense too. He gives you another guy that can go out there and guard guards, force the tempo. The thing I always liked about him when he played for Chapmanville was he played hard. He seemed to always play hard. He made some mistakes, but he always played hard. He'll rebound. He'll block a shot every now and then. He'll get a steal. He'll take a charge. He'll dive on the floor, and he always seems to score every once in a while when you need a big basket. So I think he's really been a great asset to us the last couple of weeks, especially with Trevor out.
Right.
It just helps to add another guy that's been in some of these games, and he's played in big games before. So it's it's new for him going to the state tournament. Yeah. He's excited about that, of course. Cutting down some nets and doing some stuff like that is new to him. But I think he's doing a great job with it. He seems to really be fitting in. And we've had to talk to him about the focus and about the things at state tournament you can't get away with like you do in the regular season. Everything is shortened. Everything is condensed. We averaged 88 points a game last year in the regular season. Once sectionals, regionals, states happen, that scrunches down to about 68. Everything's shortened, 20 points a game or whatever. Everything is more valuable with the state tournament, and all the teams know everybody. Everybody's done their scouting. Everybody's had a week to prepare, especially the first round game. So everybody is on top of everything that you do. So we're going to have to really watch ourselves.
All right, Coach. Well, we wish you the best of luck again, and hopefully you can be back-to-back AAA state champions. I know that'd be quite the pleasure, I'm sure, for this town. That wouldn't go nuts at all, I'm sure.
No, it would be great.
We done this last night at Scott as well, and to give you the same opportunity, we're putting this on the World Wide Web. Is there anything you want to say to your fan base?
I always want to tell all of our Logan fans, Wednesday's half a day of school. Get those guys over there, get those kids over there and cheer. I know we're going to have a big send-off Wednesday morning. We're going to eat breakfast here at Logan High School. The school's going to feed us here, and then take a bus and police escort and everything else. We're doing the old Ravenswood, talk to Mick Pryor. That's how he used to do it from Ravenswood. So we're going to try that thing, and I think we'll have a good crowd. I know it's a tough for Wednesday morning, but I hope we have a great crowd over there. And, Williamson playing right after us, I think that'll help some, because I know the Williamson people will be cheering for us, and I know we'll be cheering for them. And that's nothing against Charleston Catholic. It's just how we are down here.
Right.
And especially since my dad coached over there, that's a special place to me too. So really hoping our fans go over and support us. We're going to need it. Again, we're the underdogs for the first time in a long time in the state tournament, and we need every bit of help that we can get.
All righty. Well, we'll be right back with more coverage here on Behind the Scenes due to the state tournament. We wish you the best of luck, and hopefully, you never know. We'll talk to you next week with the back-to-back state championship, another ring to add to the collection.
That'd be awesome. That'd be great.
Head coach Mark Hatcher, Logan Wildcats.
wvsportsnet.com.
Your sports voice of the Valley.